Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jess and today I thought I would walk you through what I do for work. And I have my work laptop here. I thought that I would just kind of walk you guys through what it is that I do for work because I have not really talked about it before. I typically try to keep those lives a little bit separate. And then I also figured I would walk you guys through sort of what my day-to-day looks like. I don't know if you can see P, but he's right there and he has a stick. I just figured that we would do that because I know I vlog often, but I typically don't tell you what's going on in my workday. I just say that I'm working, so I figured why not? First off though, I made some coffee this morning, and so I definitely want to give myself some because it is done steeping and I feel like I can't be fully productive without my coffee. So again, I know I've never really talked about what I do for work. I know I have briefly mentioned, for example, that I work in sales or that I make sales, and I do, but I don't really like to call them sales just for the sake of keeping what I do anonymous. That's the best word that I could possibly use for it in the past. But basically what I do is I work for an agency that helps people find jobs in all things creative, digital marketing, anything related to it. So graphic designers, video editors, marketing specialists, all the way to the VP level, UX, UI designers, front-end developers, everything in between, copywriters, whatever it may be. So I actually do not handle anything to do with the actual talent, any of the candidates or anything like that. None of the recruiting is what I do personally. I focus more on the client side, and I basically find different companies that are based in my area, and my company splits it up per area. So if they're not in your area, or they're not looking for a job in your area, or to fill a role, I should say, in your area, then it has to go to the person that is in that area, which makes sense. But I focus in my area and I basically try to find companies that need talent. So if somebody is doing a large production and they need a team, or if somebody is wanting a new marketing specialist, or whatever it might be. There's so many, like, tons and tons of titles out there. But that's basically what I do, is I meet with these companies and I say like, hey, I would love to help you out. What is it that you're looking for? And how, like, what is the person that you would really like? Like, what is the title and what's the day-to-day, but also what would make that person really stand out in terms of their portfolio, their resume, or anything else. I've been working at my job for about 8 months now, and I really feel like now I'm getting the hang of it. I know it's been a while, but at the same time, I feel like I had so much to learn about the industry, and I'm really happy that I get a chance to help people that are in, that creative space like I have been my whole life, and help them find jobs in what they love to do. My company has also decided that because of COVID and everything going on with the pandemic, that we don't really have a reason why we need to be in the office. Typically speaking, when I'm meeting with these companies, I would normally go and meet with them in person. But as you guys know, I did lose my job over the pandemic, and then I found this job. Well, I found a different job first, which we won't even get into right now, but I did find this job ultimately. And so I have actually never been into our office, but I feel like meeting over Zoom with a lot of the people that I'm talking to works better because I can have so many more meetings, especially with the way that LA traffic can be. It's a lot to handle, realistically speaking. I would maybe be able to have 2, maybe 3 meetings in a day, whereas some days I have 6 to 10 meetings. So it's much easier to be able to do everything over Zoom. And I just feel like I can still connect with my clients at a very personal level because I can still see them and I can talk to them on the phone or whatever it may be, text them, whatever it is. So I feel confident in the fact that we don't have to go in. I did vote for like wanting to work remotely because I personally love remote work, and it allows me to stay home with P. It also allows me to be able to do dog sitting, and if I really want to, I can go on trips. So I just went to Florida with Ryan, and for example, my family lives up in Washington, so I could visit them and not have to worry about taking much time off work except for like a travel day. So that's the very basic version of what I do for work. I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty just because I feel like I just don't think it's necessary really. But I just kind of wanted to inform you guys as to what it is that I'm doing for work at all, because I think, you know, that's interesting. I also was so nervous when taking this job because my last few jobs have had nothing to do with what I'm doing. So my like official job before this, like before the pandemic and everything, I was a program manager at a coding school. So I dealt with the whole program. I ran the entire online program and team, and I made sure that like everything was running smoothly in terms of sales, marketing, compliance, students, everything. So that's what I did. I did that for about 3 years. Unfortunately, I did lose my job with the pandemic, but then I found a job as a marketing coordinator, marketing manager. I don't really know what you would call what my job was, but I did end up in marketing, which I wanted to do for a really long time, especially with my job as that program manager. I really loved the marketing side, and so I was excited for that job, but it was a very toxic environment, unfortunately. So I quickly continued my search and I found this role. And again, I was very nervous. I had a little bit of sales experience because of my job with the program managing experience. I did have to do some sales, but I didn't feel like I was a salesperson per se. However, with this, I don't know, I just felt like because my role is to work with clients and talk with people, it's one of my favorite things, and it makes it very easy for me. It doesn't really feel like I'm selling, and it feels more like I'm helping, which is huge for me. I don't want to just be a salesperson selling random things. I want to feel like I'm helping somebody. So it's exciting for me, honestly, because we find people who can freelance, go full-time, whatever it is, like anything in between, and I get to talk to the talent every now and then, and seeing them be excited about these jobs and seeing my companies be excited about the talent that we put through and the projects that come out of it. It's honestly really exciting to see. So aside from being happy that I made the sale and that I'm doing my job right, it's just cool to pair these people together and to, again, help people find their jobs that they really want. So I'm not going to keep rambling. It is currently, let's see, I turned down my brightness. It's currently 8:16. So I am going to I have about 15 minutes before work starts. So I'm going to kind of just like settle in, kind of make up a to-do list. I do have a notebook here that I use for work, and I like to make myself a little to-do list every single day, as well as my goals for that week, because I do have weekly goals that I like to set for myself. I use these little tabs because throughout the week I obviously use the notebook, so it allows me to quickly switch over to the tab with my goals in it just to make sure I'm hitting them, and every so often throughout the day I'll just check through them. I'm gonna get myself ready by doing all of that, and obviously I'm not going to show you guys the screen itself, but I will kind of walk you through what it is that I'm doing and some of the meetings that I have today. And speaking of, actually, before I go ahead and work on that, so today is actually a pretty easy day, I would say. So today I start obviously at 8:30. Around 9 a.m. I have what's called wraps, which is basically where I work with my recruiting partners to talk about the open roles that we have, see how the search is going so that I can notify my clients and go from there. And then we have a Monday morning meeting, and then at around 11 I have another meeting with a client, and really that's it. I just have to send a recap email at 3 after that. So I have a very open day today, which is really nice. However, I know that that's not typically, like, if a day starts that way, it's not going to end that way. I'm not sure how the day is going to end up, but we will see. And so far I'm excited that I can really focus on more emails and things like that today, because I really need to get caught up. So that's the plan. Okay, so like I mentioned, things are already changing. It's been literally like maybe 15 minutes, and first off, I am now working in my bed. I have my little, you can see P as well, my little setup here. I got this desk on Amazon. I really enjoy it, and I got this when I worked at my last job. So not my last job, the job before that, the program managing job. Honestly, I don't work in my bed that often, but when I do want to, this is a really nice tool to have. It also has like a little compartment here so I could put things like a pen or whatever, and it also lifts up so I can like move the screen forward a little bit if I want to, which is especially nice because the space that it's in right now, it kind of tilts down. So anyway, that's that. But enough people are on PTO today where it didn't make sense to have a Monday morning meeting, so instead we decided that we're just going to be doing wraps today, and then we are going to skip the Monday morning meeting and just get straight into work. It just didn't feel like it made sense. That's totally fine with me because that means more time in my day. So I am going to get prepared for wraps in that case, which is going to be in about 30 minutes, and then I will let you guys know what that looks like and kind of go from there.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Good. I think the only rule that we currently have. Okay, so I have basically done my wraps for the day, and I also have done a couple of other things that I needed to do. Went through emails, things like that, and now my inbox is pretty healthy. I only have 5 unread messages, which is like, they're all things that I actually have to dive into. I went into the day with like 80 something messages, but a lot of them were things that I could just like mark as read. So I just went through all of that, and now I am in what we call power hour, which is basically where you focus in on any emails that need to get done, any like activity that you need to do, you know, pitching people out to clients, things like that. So I'm going to do that for a little bit, but I'm also going to prep because I do have an 11 a.m. meeting with a client. So I want to make sure that I'm good to go for that client. We've met before, so I want to just make sure that I refresh on what our meeting was, because it was in July or something like that, and that happens quite often where they kind of just take a while to respond to you and they're like, oh my gosh, I have something now. So I want to refresh, and then from there, like I said, I knew that it was not going to be just as simple as having one meeting today. Another meeting already popped up, and now I have 6 emails. 6 of these are all people that are looking for talent. So that means that I have to also schedule some new meetings, whether that be today or tomorrow or Wednesday even. Then I will have to do that. And I'm actually off on Friday this week because I am traveling. So I just want to make sure that I'm keeping in mind that I do not book anything for Friday. So got to do all that. Oh, and since I also have a new phone, I actually got Teams on my phone, but I still have to ask my IT department to help me set up my phone with my email and my calendar. So I already submitted a ticket for that, but I'm just waiting for them to reach out to me. And that's sort of how the process works at my work. I have to like acknowledge that like I agree of all of the potential security things, all that kind of stuff. So waiting for that, because what I usually like to do is I have my calendar on my phone, if you can see that. And so from there, I can just kind of see what meetings I have coming up. But right now my work one is not on there, and so I just put in a time for work. I kind of just do it like that so that I know what's blocked out, and then normally within those work periods I obviously have my work calendar synced, and that's where it will tell me what meetings I have going on so that I can easily schedule when I'm doing emails. So anyway, I'm going to focus in on what it is that this client wants to talk about in this meeting and refresh myself, and then from there I will get started with power hour and just doing some emails and really setting things up for the rest of the week. Okay, so I actually decided to take my meeting from my desk just because I feel like the background is better than like seeing my window and a little bit of a pillow. Turned out that my person I was meeting with didn't even have his camera on, but I still keep my camera on even when that's the case. But it is about, what time is it now? 12:36. So I am going to head over. I don't do this that often, but Ryan and I are going to have lunch together today because he is flying for work over to Florida tomorrow, and I'm meeting him there on Friday. So this is like our last time pretty much all week until we see each other on Friday in Florida. So we wanted to have lunch together, and and there's an In-N-Out probably like 10 minutes from me. So I'm going to head over there and then have lunch with him, and we're gonna go from there. Okay, so I am back from my lunch. I also played with P for a little bit just to make sure that he could get some of his energy out, and I actually scheduled another call for 3 p.m. today. So I have about an hour until that. So far, I opened up a role for the first meeting that I had today. It was something where someone wanted some talent, so I was able to open that up, which is really nice. So that's considered a sale, and not all of them get filled, obviously, but I am supposed to hit a certain amount of opens per week. So that's one of my goals, and then I'm also supposed to hit a certain amount of closes per week. So again, it's like not every one of them gets filled, so that's okay. But I also have the call at 3 p.m. is just to kind of like requalify what's going on in that search. So that will be a really important call as well. So I want to get prepped for that. And in the meantime, I really haven't had any chance to focus on any emails like I thought I was going to, mostly because I had my meetings and then I had to open up the roles, which takes some time. And then in addition to that, someone's out, so I had to fill in for them on a couple of things. So I'm finally getting over to my stuff. And this is why it's like, I feel like 8 hours in the day just doesn't cut it sometimes, because it's 2 p.m. now. So I'll be finishing today at 5:30. If I take a 30-minute lunch, I end at 5. If I take a hour lunch, I end at 5:30 because I started at 8:30. So that will be good. And I only have a handful of emails, thank goodness, in my inbox, so we should be good to go on that front. So I'm going to focus in on my emails before hopping into that 3 p.m. since I do have about an hour, and at least I can get some of that work done. And then from there, I will let you guys know what the rest of the day is going to look like, because I have a feeling that I won't know until after my 3 p.m. meeting. Okay, it's about 5:50 now. I have just wrapped up work not long ago. I probably wrapped up about 5 minutes ago, so I went a little over the time that I actually wanted to be at work and working. I got most of the things I needed to get done. I actually had quite a few meetings today. I ended up having a total of 3 client meetings, as well as having to do my wraps this morning. So typically we do those wraps on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Mondays we normally have a Monday morning meeting, but obviously today we didn't have that. And then on Tuesdays we have a sales meeting. Sometimes Wednesdays there's a morning meeting. And besides that, there's not really much else. I'm actually taking this Friday off. I just heard back today actually that I may not be going to Florida, so we're basically going to decide what the plan is on Thursday, but normally I would obviously work on Fridays as well. But I'm just really trying to wrap everything into a 4-day week, because the following week I also have a half day on Friday. So it's a lot to get through. I actually did not get through any of my emails today, which I really wanted to do. However, I feel like because I've been working from home, it's been so much different in terms of what has to get done and what times things get done, because we have a lot more freedom, especially with meeting over Zoom for a lot of our clients and things like that too. Again, I just felt like it could be insightful to share with you guys what it is that I do, really getting the chance to help other people find jobs. I know that I feel like I wish I had somebody who could like guide me through the process of like, does my portfolio look okay? Does my resume look okay? And things like that. And being able to help other people do that, and being on the client side and helping these bigger projects happen. Like there's some projects, especially in the LA area, that I'm so excited about, that when I talk with my client, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to find someone for you because it's such a cool idea. So I work with companies of all sizes, whether it be like large corporations or really small boutique companies. So it's just really cool to get to kind of touch them all. So yeah, that's really where I'm at. That's what I got going on for me. I am again wrapped up now. So my plan for the rest of the day is to really work on some more YouTube work. I usually work on YouTube stuff from like 6-ish until like 8 or 9. And then I spent some time with P, obviously. We were just playing some ball, which is why it took me a second to come here and wrap this up. And then I usually try to actually relax at the end of the day, like maybe read a book or do something like that. I've been reading on my Kindle lately, which has been really nice to just keep handy, because I can keep a couple of books on there and just kind of like feel out what I'm feeling like. So Anyway, that's all I got for you guys today. I hope this gave you some insights and I hope you enjoyed. If you guys have any questions for anything related to work or any suggestions for any Saturday videos, feel free to leave it in the comments below. Or if you have any recommendations for true crime videos, feel free to leave it in the Google form that's in the description. I hope you guys are having a really great weekend and I will see you on Tuesday.